2012, 2013, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I went in for every 5 years they make you do brain MRI, and so they brought me in, like actually the day before the weigh-in, and hey, we need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, all right, sure. So I showed up, and they showed me like the brain MRI, and you have a bunch of lesions in your brain. This looks like something very serious. This looks like whatever. And maybe I'm not sure if they said it at that time, but I didn't really pay attention. And we can't let you fight, but we need you to come in and do these tests. And it took about maybe like 3 months. You know, we did a bunch of like neurological tests and different things, and then they're like, yeah, sorry, you have multiple sclerosis. You know, it's like somebody died because they can't fight anymore. They said, and then they gave me a stack of drug books and asked me which ones I wanted to take. And and then that kind of, you know, and I asked them, can I still do jiu-jitsu? And they're like, sure, you know. And so I signed up for a tournament and I went on a world tour. Really traveling.
It was 2012, right?
Well, it was like 2013 actually when this happened.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. One of those, either 2012 or 2013.
Because I remember that time.
And then for like I think a good 3-4 years I did a world tour, you know. And I was like, what if I can't do jiu-jitsu in 6 months? What if I can't do jiu-jitsu in 3 months? What if I can't grab? What if I can't walk? You know, because you look at all these YouTube things and all these, you know, you start to do your research and you're like, oh man, like it can happen, right? So I was like, I want to give everything I have. You know,
I remember that.
I don't want to have any regrets, you know. So there was a tournament in Munich in Germany where I spent most of my childhood. So I signed up for that and I went all in, you know. And then I had some spiritual moments, and I was like, I got this, you know, and I got this. And then I think it was my subconscious. I got reconnected with Scott Sonnen, and the TACFIT creator.
Right.
And he invited me to do one of his certifications. And this is back, it's like almost 4 years ago now.
You've been in it ever since.
And I was like, okay, I have a second chance to really learn this, because he actually helped me for one of my UFC fights. I got thrown on my head. I had these injuries, and he showed me some movements that to heal myself, and it was actually just that alone. But everything he told me, it worked, and it was like these different things. So I was kind of like, okay, sure, you know, but I did it, and then it worked, and I never stopped thinking about it. And I always wanted to learn, but there was no place to learn, and so I was like, all right, you know. So I finally went to a cert, and I talked to a couple of the guys and his old partner. You know, I had a partner of 23 years. And I was like, okay, I want to do TACFIT at my gym, and so I actually made a TACFIT sign. I think I was the only one in the world at the time.
Really,
the one we have on the street.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. And I believed in it, you know, and it reminded me of jiu-jitsu when I first started jiu-jitsu, because nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was. They knew what karate and taekwondo was, but nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was. But I represented, you know. And so I've been representing TACFIT ever since. And in the process, every rep, every certification, I did like 50 workshop certifications in the last like 3 years. But most of them were like in a year and a half, you know. But with every rep, with everything that I did, I got better and better and better. My injuries, they started to heal. My brain started to work better. And it's just remarkable, you know. And I'm not the only one. Everybody that's been doing it in our gym, I see the same results that I can see with jiu-jitsu. And then, of course, it helps the jiu-jitsu athletes from injuries and just builds your awareness and your knowledge, right, of self, and increases your quality of life. And really, it's much more than fighting, right, jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
quality of life, quality of movement.
So it teaches you all those components, the brain-based fitness, if you want to call it, you know, but it's much more than fitness, you know. It's he calls himself a human optimization scientist.
Who, Scott?
Scott, yeah. Well, that's what he does for the government now.
Human optimization scientist. I like that title. It's nothing you can get a job application for. I guess you can if you get certified.
Yeah, he's a maverick. He's way ahead of his time. Like I've gone to like these conferences and things like that, and they're saying all these things, and like, oh, we just found out this, and I'm like, I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I know Scott's been saying this for a lot of years. A lot of the stuff that he said all these years ago, there wasn't the science and stuff to prove it yet, because we didn't have the technology. But especially in the last like 5, 6, 7 years, you know, we've had the technology to kind of prove these things. So now it is science. And so I feel like in a way the world is ready for a lot of these things.
So,
and you know, even if it isn't, like, I know how I feel and I know what it's done for me. and I see the changes in our students that train in TAC Fit.
Right. At the end of the day,
So,
you live with it.
you know, and like he just wrote a science paper with a couple other really smart people, he is a kind of a quote that I kind of really liked. He's like, "This isn't science based. This is science."